222. OCO, everyone. Can y'all hear me real quick? We good, right? Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure, because as soon as I started that one, that got zapped for some reason. But let me just make sure we good, right? We straight? Y'all can hear me? Okay, because I ain't even get started. I was like, I just hit the button. All of a sudden, that one got zapped. I was like, damn. Okay. I mean, at least let me say what I'm about to say first, YouTube. God damn. All right. Okay. Here we go. I'm trying to give some folk, I'm trying to give people time to get in here. I'm trying to give people time to get in here, man. I know that was crazy right there. That was absolutely crazy. We had just got started. I'm looking at my screens. I clicked the live button. All of a sudden, I see the live go off. I was like, what happened? What'd I do? I ain't do nothing. I'm trying to tell you. Everything good on my side, man. So I'm gonna give people time to, catch up, make sure everything's straight on their side and everything's straight on my side. Hopefully they don't get the jittering, the scratching, and you know how they do, like goddamn cocaine habits, and they scratching their arms and everything right now. Like, no, there's another Dane Calloway live stream. They mad. I ain't even do nothing, man. I mean, I'm talking about I just hit the live button. I had just hit the live button and they zapped it. I was like, damn, okay, all right, well, let's see what happened this time around. I hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all doing well. Hey. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. They know I ain't do nothing. It's all good. We about to get into it. I'm gonna make sure everybody get their notifications. They probably messed up. You know what they probably did? They probably did that to mess everybody's notification up. And then when people got their notification, it went to that other one, okay? And it's probably trying to throw people off so they won't pop up. Now it's gonna take them a second to find out that I went live again. Same thumbnail, same title, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a distraction tactic. God damn. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I'm making sure before I start. Okay, so this probably gonna be a long one too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warm up the conversation first. And when I warm up the conversation and we get knee deep, like I don't want to start it and all of a sudden it get to shaking or whatever they do. Yeah, so let me see. Let me give it a second. I'm gonna start it, warm it up first. Then we go move into the deep stuff. Y'all already see the title, right? Y'all know what's about to happen, right? I got my coffee. I got my water. I know it's about to happen, right? Where them country people had to be like, water. Let me get past me a water. New York, they be like water. They water. They put D's in it. water, right? I ain't lying. Yeah, I better drink it while it's cold. Hold up. I'm cracking that thing open right now. They got the D in it. Pause. They got the D in water, which is a canoe. That's an indigenous word. We already put that out there. We ain't, we. Man, they done took everything that we had, and the people think we ain't have nothing. I mean, I'm talking about nothing. They just think we some slaves covered over on some slave ships from anonymous people they don't name. They think we ain't got nothing. I mean, we ain't had nothing. We just slaves and chains and shackles. We ain't had no history. Our history started 1619. Silly people, man. Silly. It is what it is. CA got recycled toilet water. I heard that GQ they were going to they recycling their toilet water. I mean, their sewage water. To be honest with you, I thought a lot of people were already doing that. I'm being real. Certain people go through filters, allegedly. I thought that was already happening. Yeah. That's right, Ted. And he act like everything ended in 1865. As if we don't exist. Like we just, and then as if slavery don't exist still to this very day. Yeah, they already doing that. Cleveland, Ohio does that. I mean, I could have sworn everybody was. I mean, because where you putting that waste? It's in the sewage, Dane. And then where it's going after that? It's going into the water, into the ocean. Into the ocean. We don't got to worry about, I mean, when you visit a beach, that beach usually look clean, don't it? Like, I mean, what part of the ocean is it? I mean, it's not, so we just going, huh? But, see you, everyone. I'm glad they messing with it now. So I guess we could go ahead and jump it off real quick. I'm trying to give people this, this time to get in here. If they miss it, they miss it. They miss it, but they'll be able to catch it later on down the line. So let me do my shout outs real quick.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet. He's here to make you think. It's Dane Calloway.
You are watching a master at work.
The fuck you mean?
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
The fuck you mean?
Perfect.
All right. Duval in the building. With that Blue Dreamer. Who else in the building? Duval. Jacksonville, Florida. Greenville, South Carolina. Columbus, Ohio. Greenville, South Carolina. Newark, New Jersey. DMV in the building. H-Town in the building. Augusta, Georgia in the building. What up, Augusta? It's about time y'all popping out, man. Huh? Buffalo, New York in the building. Tallahassee, Florida in the building. Kentucky in the building. Birmingham, Alabama in the building. Cleveland, Ohio in the building. Cleveland, Ohio in the building. What up, Ohio? Dallas, Texas checking in. What up, Texas? What up, Dallas? Hey, man. I heard Dallas. I ain't gonna bring it up. Never mind. I'm gonna leave them Cowboys alone. Anyway, Buffalo, New York in the building. Buffalo, New York in the building. What up, Buffalo? B More in the house. Nashville, Tennessee in the house. Nashville in the house. What up, Nashville? Brooklyn in the building. Brooklyn in the building. God damn. Y'all not playing tonight. What up, Brooklyn? Columbus, Ohio in the building. Philly in the building. Don't do us Cowboys like that. I'm gonna leave them alone, man. I believe in the Lord. I ain't gonna say nothing. Shout out to them Cowboy fans, you know, as far as the NFL is concerned, because all of us here Cowboy fans are the real Cowboys. Not just no football team. Minnesota in the building. Memphis 10 in the building. Bay Area in the building. Chi-Town in the building. St. Louis in the building. Duval in the building. There goes some more Duval. Springfield, Illinois in the building. Detroit, D-Town in the building. Columbus, Georgia in the building. It's freezing in Texas and Arkansas. Man, what? Man, I'm talking about freezing. I heard some of y'all got some snow out there. Y'all be careful out there now. I'm talking about throughout different states. Y'all be safe out there. You know how they playing with that weather. Ain't no telling what's popping off. But y'all be safe out there. I heard it was cold in Florida. Man, cold in Florida. I never heard cold in Florida together. That's just me. Birmingham, Alabama in the building. Miami Gardens, Florida in the building. Right after that. Lawrenceville, Virginia in the building. What up, VA? Richmond, California in the building. DMV in the building. That's DC, Maryland, and VA in the building. It's 29 in New York. Woo! Y'all better button up. Shh. Dade County in the building. That's Florida. Alexandria. Oh, man. I didn't get a chance to see what that was. Columbia, South Carolina. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. VA in the building. VA in here deep. Winsburg, VA in the building. Raleigh, North Carolina. Long Beach, Cali. Powder Springs, GA in the building. Jersey in the building. Waco, Georgia in the building. Columbia, South Carolina in the building. Y'all going crazy. Long Island in the building. You finally made it live, huh? Where you been at this whole time, huh? I'm about to get on. Where you been at this whole time? I'm glad you could be here now, though. Yeah, this is live, baby. Hold up. 4 seconds, 3. Hold on. Let me switch these screens real quick. Yeah, hold on, let me get the screen real quick. Because I was still shouting out the people in the chat real quick. So let me just chat real quick. 21 feels like 4 degrees and hold on, what? Let me go back up. And Levelland, Texas. Where is that at? Damn. That sound like that's in the, woo, what? Where is that at? Motown down, I see you. What's up, Stacy? Flint, Michigan in the building. Texarkana, Texas. Oh, Texarkana, Texas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ain't that on the border? I think I seen that before. When I first moved over here, it's 19 degrees over there. Man, yeah. Ooh, man. 4 degrees in Chicago. Yeah, that's West Texas. Oh, okay. North Carolina in the building, Montgomery, Alabama, Naptown. It's 17 degrees right now. Where you at? Palm Bay, Florida. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hey, Florida, what's y'all's temperature right now? And who out there got snow? Y'all probably not even in here. Germany in the building. I see you. What up, Germany? Oh, I ain't been dropping bombs? Hold up. Oh, I just seen... Huh? Hold up. Oh. Am I tripping? Yeah, I'm tripping. 1, 2. Hold on. 1, 2. Oh, no, that's 10. 11, 12, 13. Hold on. What? Hey, Root. Hold up, Root. Matter of fact, now drop a big bomb. Drop a big bomb for Root. He done came in here and dropped 30 gifted subs without me even knowing. 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 Rude. What's up, Rude? God, man, let me drop another one, man. Okay, Rude, I see you. That crept up. Like, I ain't even see that at first. Okay. Rennet did drop 5 gifted. Set it on fire. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, y'all showing love like that. Yeah, my apologies. I ain't get to see that, y'all. Gary, welcome back, brother. Cherokee Blackwater, thank you for becoming a member. OC Lee, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. 14 in Kentucky. Sheesh. 73 degrees in South Florida. Hey, South Florida. Bye, South Florida. Bye. Bye. Go ahead. Y'all can leave. 73 degrees. Y'all can go ahead. Bye. 73 degrees. You had to rub it in. Everybody else cold. You tell me it's 73 degrees, y'all. It's 67 in Tampa. Shut up, Tampa. Matter of fact, Florida, don't say nothing right now. Didn't I ask y'all what time? Don't tell me no more. I don't want to know what Florida temperature look like. -8 in Dakota. Listen to that. Expected snow in Birmingham. Y'all better stop playing. Mohawk I am, I appreciate that. Thank you for the gift, sister. I appreciate that, sis. Yeah, Florida, be quiet. Look at the chat. They get the chance to talk trash right now. That's messed up. The gift, St. Augustine, Florida. Thank you for becoming a member, brother. Right after that. A person from Florida, look, I'm a member now. Come on, man. Reddit did say Florida hush. I'm talking about, they got to be the only ones 60 and up right now. They got to be. Cali, what y'all looking like right now, Cali? And don't lie, Cali. Okay, Oak Grove, Cali is 55. That's kind of low. That's kind of cold. 68 degrees in Florida. Y'all can shut up, Florida. Yo, y'all 60 out, Cali? Hold on, 67 in St. Pete, Florida. Shut. Oh my goodness. Matter of fact, ban everybody. No, I'm just playing. Oh, it's 60. It's 60 degrees in Cali. 63, 61, 55. Man, y'all, man, what? Man, matter of fact, Florida and Cali, shut up. Matter of fact, that's how we gonna do it. Cali and Florida don't say nothing right now. God damn. 62 in LA. 63 in Arizona. Arizona, you too. Don't say nothing. Nah, don't say nothing. Look at, nah. That ain't right. Rubbing that thing in like that. 23 in Dallas, Texas. I'm out here in Texas. It's somewhere in there, 7 and up. You would think it'd be 80. It'd probably be 80 next week, knowing Texas. Texas can't make up his mind. We walk outside in shorts later on, we got to put a coat on. That's no cap. 68 in Orlando. 62 in Mobile, Alabama? And y'all near the water. 63 is cold out west? That don't sound cold to me. That don't sound cold to me. Are you in a button-up jacket? Matter of fact, are you in a jacket? If you ain't in no jacket, it ain't cold. Don't lie. Do you have a skull cap on? $70 in Key West. Stop it. 82 in West Palm Beach, Florida. Kick that person. Kick that person. I'm just playing. Don't kick him. Don't kick. I'm just playing. God damn. Chalice King, thank you for being a member for 23 months in a row. Said it's -13. Okay, it feel like -39 in Dakota. Man, y'all, hey, a hoodie would do in San Francisco. A hoodie would do in San Francisco. That ain't cold. Yeah, still warm outside. Hoodie and jeans in Oakland. Listen to that. Y'all better stop playing. It's 4 degrees in Boston. Sheesh. Now that's cold. That's dumb cold. Stupid cold. I would not come outside cold. That's the I'm cussing out Mother Nature cold. That's that what are you doing cold. -24 in Alaska. I mean, well, that's Alaska. Y'all kind of, I mean, my bad, Alaska. Y'all kind of like that's expected. You know what I'm saying? 20 degrees in Connecticut. Yeah, so y'all cold. Man, yeah, no, I wouldn't live in Boston. For that reason. No, thank you. Dang, we got a house for you. Well, you better give it to somebody else. -24 in Alaska. Yeah, see? Nah, no, thank you. 24 and it's snowing in Philly. All right, now, y'all be careful out Philly now. Y'all be careful out there. Y'all better be doing under the speed limit. Don't be like Texas where it was, I'm talking about snowing, sleeting, and ice was on the ground. Everybody was doing the speed limit or above. Don't do it. Don't do it. I couldn't believe my eyes. People were flying on that highway when it was nothing but ice. And we all know how that ended up. I ain't going to bring that back up. But don't do it. 32 degrees in Virginia. That's cold. 60 in LA. That's hot. That's warm in LA. That's warm. Talking about some hoodie. Yeah, it's on subscriber only. You got to be a subscriber to only, to chat in the chat. Yep. Yeah, it started snowing in certain places like DC. I heard DC got snow now. And so I'm not surprised that Philly getting snow. Matter of fact, I'm sure East Coast, y'all getting it. Y'all about to get, if y'all don't have it, y'all about to get it. Depending on I haven't been paying attention to the weather, but I think y'all all about to get it on the East Coast, if I ain't mistaken. But I know DC got that right now. I still got family out there. Shout out DC though. It's snowing now, yeah. I'm sure it is. Everything DMV radio. What up, brother? What up, Slim? Brooklyn has some snow. Y'all got to be careful now. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, on the East Coast, I think y'all gonna get it the worst for right now. Mass got 15 inches. Never mind, East Coast. Y'all not, never mind. Y'all probably not gonna get it. I don't think y'all gonna get no 15 inches of snow. Y'all better hope not. Man, what? Woo! $4.95. I ain't even gonna bring that up. I ain't even gonna swear they fixing it. $2.95. They swear they fixing it. Traffic galore with snow on it? No, thank you. I wouldn't want to be a part of that. VA got a little something? Yeah, nah. No, thank you. 32 in Chattanooga, Tennessee with a little snow. Okay, so that's the South right there. So that's kind of, So what about Georgia? Did Georgia get any snow? Hold on, no, Georgia finna get it tomorrow. It's gonna be 18 by Wednesday. Oh. So that thing sound like it's going east to the south. Okay, Birmingham, Alabama got snow. Now, as long as it don't come this way, that's all I want. Yeah, I mean, who's the meteorologist in the chat? Because I need to know. Make sure, if y'all can check real quick, just check and see if Texas about to, you know what I'm saying? Huh? That's the last thing we need. But Mississippi got snow? Oh, Lord. Come on, man. That's the last thing I want to hear. That's close to Texas. Okay, Austin, Texas, sleet and snow? Oh, here we go. Right, Dallas got snow? Oh, no. Dallas got snow. Snowing in Dallas, supposedly. Stop, y'all, stop. All right, come on. Let's all state some affirmations right now, right? Right now. Let's state some affirmations right now to push this snow up out of our way right now. Don't make me go preacher mode. We got to get this snow up out of here. We don't want none of that. We want all them people that's trying to, maneuver the weather the way they want it done, which is man-made, because it's definitely not Mother Nature. I'm just saying, we could all band together right now and push the snow away. Just say, right now, snow, go away. That's all. Just right now, snow, go away. You're not welcome here. I'm just saying. If we band together and push the snow out, we can push it out. We just got to state the affirmations. Let your words and your actions meet. No snow, be gone. Snow, be gone. Snow, go away. Can we just, huh? Y'all laughing. I'm not playing. I don't want no snow. I don't like snow. Give me the heat. I'll take that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me not say that. Yeah. You know what? Yes, I'll take that over the snow. I can tell you that right now. Snow and rain, I can't stand it. I understand the rain, but snow, no. Please, snow, go away. Please. Thank y'all to say this in the chat. Powerful affirmation. Snow, go away. Thank you. Yeah, and harp be gone. Man. I'm dropping the bomb. Harp be gone. What? DARPA too. DARPA controlling it. Harp used to have it. DARPA got control of it. That's the military, by the way. All right. Enough of that snow. Let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. So, hold up. Let me wipe my glasses off. Okay. The first thing I want to do is talk to you. Let me warm up the conversation. The first thing I want to do is talk to you all about this topic at hand. Did MLK help us or hurt us? Matter of fact, now that I got the chat up like that, before I switch it to the other screen, I'm gonna start sharing some videos and other things, pictures. I want to ask y'all straight up. Did MLK help us or hurt us? Either say help us or hurt us, or both. It's up to y'all. Or both. It's up to y'all. Did MLK help us or hurt us? I'm not trying to say it's a right or wrong answer, none of that. Let me see your answer. A lot of people saying both. A lot of people saying both. Okay. All right. It's a double-edged sword. I see you. Damn. Damn near the whole chat just said both. Some people said neither. I did see that. He didn't help at all. Both, but mostly hurt. Right? Oh, boy. Wasn't he a Republican? Danny. Somebody help Danny. 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 Why was he so concerned about making us Democrats? And what I mean by help Danny is tell him it's the same thing. Republican, Democrat, what's the difference? Some of y'all gonna disagree with me on that note. That's fine. Danny, you could disagree with me on that note too. That's fine. Me, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the same thing. Democrat and Republican. Same thing. Two heads of the same snake. In a literal sense. It was the Democratic Republican Party first, right? Before they separated. They were one and the same. What makes you think they not now? There's no difference. OCO and Monty, how you? Oh, Monty, you the main reason why I put the fire up. Fire, by the way. The big up. I'm still trying to get that, Amani. Bear with me. I'm still trying to find the right one. Because you know, it's a lot of Caribbean DJs. Shout out to the Caribbean DJs that be playing a whole bunch of Caribbean music that be making us. Like, I come to find out that's like what I use to do my exercises. Because y'all be having me moving. Ain't no break. The only time I get a break is when I shut it off. Because the Caribbean DJs are boom, 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 and I'm talking about dancing. We moving. So, shout out to y'all. I'm going to find it, though. I'm looking for a specific one. And then once I grab it, I'm going to put it on here on the stream deck. So, let's move along. A lot of people said both. I'm going to switch. Hold on, let me switch screens real quick. Because there's a video. Before I play the videos, there's a couple of pictures. I want to point something out. I'm going to, I did not mean to do all the way. Hold up. 1 second. Okay. Because I wanted to bring it on my side. So there's a question I want to ask you all really quickly. What was the civil rights movement all about? Because everybody would say, yeah, it's about our civil rights. It's about, helping us with jobs or trying to get jobs and equality in the workplace and equality, justice for all the rest of that, right? But here's the thing. I just, hear me out. We gonna take it slow. A lot of that stuff we already had. Like, of course, the stuff that they're putting out there, for example, let me show this right now. That they're putting out there for MLK. They want to claim that MLK was doing all of this. Like, this was his thing. It was civil rights. They pushed him out to the forefront to all of our people, and he was the spokesman for all of our people. Regardless if he was Democrat or Republican, that part didn't matter. What we do know is he was part of the Christianity Society, with him being a preacher and a lot of his friends. Which is fine. That's not the knock. The knock come in where we start talking about what exactly did any of this do for us? The marching in the street, the kneeling, the putting up signs, the going to go speak to some president, the going to go vote this person in. What exactly did that do for us? Because I'm going to tell you right now, just to jump ahead, we're still in the exact same position that we were in back then, right now. So that should make you wonder, okay, so what exactly was this all about? Yeah, I see you said nonviolent, right? That was the nonviolent approach. This protesting way was the nonviolent approach. He was taught that. We're going to get into it. I'm not going to jump because I want to stick on this note because I want everybody to think about that. What exactly did MLK do for our people? Now, this is something that's major because today is technically Martin Luther King Day. We celebrate his life and his death. Okay? But why? For example, we also celebrate Christopher Columbus prior to them, everybody saying, no, we're not going to celebrate Christopher Columbus. We were celebrating Christopher Columbus as if he discovered America, like he did us a favor, right? Everybody got to that truth and knocked that about. I'm not doing that for Christopher Columbus no more. But you just recently stopped that, right? Now, for example, I could go to Twitter without me even knowing. I could go to Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I could go to all these social sites that guarantee somebody talking about MLK Day. And what they're going to do? What they're going to do is just display quotes, things that he said. That's fine. But did the things that he say amount to anything for the better good of our people? Did we receive any benefit out of what he's been saying? Out of all of that marching, the protesting, I'm talking about anything where it says that we can actually pinpoint with our finger and say MLK got that done for us. I'm trying to tell you. But the reason why I'm warming this up right now, because here come the so-called Black History Month, and I'm about to bang people's heads on Black History Month with a lot of information. My wife and I, in fact, about to kick tail. So I'm going to refresh your memory with a lot of things that I went over previously in previous years, because the time is now. Thank goodness, because I'm so glad. Y'all probably didn't pay attention to me back then, regardless of what the views look like. 200,000, 300,000. Okay. Say no more. But now, you gonna hear me. And I'm gonna show you where I'm coming from. And I dare you to go behind me and research what I'm stating. Because it's for your benefit. Now, am I going to sit up here and knock this brother? No, not really. But what I am going to do is pinpoint how he was led astray, and the only thing that he could do with the person that was being led astray is to lead others astray. And that was all of his time being out in the forefront for our people. Allegedly for our people. How come he was the only person that drew huge amounts of crowds, a lot of people? No promo. What I mean by that is, it wasn't to a point where he was able to reach all of you and say, hey, we marching this date, that date, in every state, and everybody show up. Hold on. We had newspapers, we had flyers, we had telephones. But every time he did something, a large amount of people showed up. And the reason why I'm putting that out there is because he could not do that by himself. They want you to think that he was this powerful individual, but yet they never tell you or show you the power that he had. The reason why is because he did not have no power, because if he really did, we would not be in the same position that we were back then, right now. Dane, what are you getting at? He's a puppet. Now, the last few of his years, he did change his mind. We're going to get into that because he was coming after the government. But the only reason why he was coming after the government is because the government was the people that were leading him astray. Yeah, I remember that. There's multiple different videos out there of him coming after the government. That was at that time when he was getting ready to go. Matter of fact, that video where he was wiping the sweat off of his face and he was like, I'm tired of marching. That's what let you know that he was tired of all of that going on and what the government has been doing. The government straight up made promises that they didn't keep. And he was the puppet to lead our people in the direction that the government wanted us to be led in. The civil rights movement was supposed to be for the Indians. But yet, again, I want y'all to explain to me right now, if we have civil rights, why do we have a civil rights organization? I'm talking about us, our people. Why do we have civil rights organizations that don't ever work in our favor? But they pretend like they do. Like that Crump guy, right? They put out a civil rights lawyer spoke up. A civil rights activist spoke up. A civil rights organization spoke up. But nothing gets done in our favor. I want y'all to listen. And this is before I even start showing you shit. I want you to hear me first. And then if you don't believe me, good. Go back behind me and research what I'm saying. I'm talking about the Black Caucus that's sitting up there in this government ain't do a thing. What's that other one called? The NAACP? Name a goddamn time the NAACP did anything for our people. I dare you. And they got branch after branch after union after union after local. And ain't one time have you seen any results that worked in our favor. The Black Caucus, I bet all of y'all can't name 2 people that's a part of it. That's in the government here. 2. This is some real stuff. You don't know who those people are, and them people gonna act like they don't know you. So what are they really there for? Are they really there for you? Of course not. Because you would have known them by name by now. Right now. Now, when we talk about Martin Luther King, 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s too, all that stuff, that whole era, 50s, 60s, 70s, I'm talking about prior to any of that happening, our people were good. When we were living segregated, there were no issues. But all of a sudden, during that era, 50s, 60s, 70s, the issue was that we needed to desegregate. We needed to be in white jobs. We needed to be in white colleges. We needed to be on white buses. We needed to be in white schools. We needed to be taught the white curriculum. Look at how this is done, y'all. From white books. And the reason why I'm saying white is because that's a status that has nothing to do with your skin complexion. But all of a sudden, our people turned their nose up to how they were previously living, which was fine, because I dare you to say that we were in a condition that was not fine, and then prove it. Because if the elders that were telling these young folk like Martin Luther King and them not to change nothing, we will lose our homes, our farms, our jobs, our businesses, our lands, then that's the problem. The people that did go to the colleges and universities made a mistake, but they were being led by somebody. Whether if it was Democrat or Republican, it was still political. Because politically, black is dead. They don't want you to be nothing within this government. Like they think that you think right now, our people think right now that we the people is referring to us right now. And I'm gonna show you something, because if that was the case, then why, look close. Why were we protesting? Look, we marched for jobs for all, a decent pay, integrated schools. Look, jobs for all. End police brutality now. Look, we march for first class citizenship. This about to get deep. Let me zoom in. Hold on. Am I on the right screen? Yeah, y'all can see it. We march for first class citizenship. This is a problem. And now people don't see that this means that you were not a citizen in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s here. And this is what hurt us. Right here. This is the biggest thing. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody out there right now, tell me, is citizenship a civil right? Is that your civil right to be a citizen? I'm looking at the chat right now. Is that your civil right? Look, if we were marching for civil rights, then what is citizenship? I went over this, and we're going to go over this again because I'm going to let this sink in. The main problem that we have right now is the fact that we became citizens of a foreign entity. We became members of a foreign entity. And you wonder where the root of our problem resides. Again, our people were doing well. I'm talking about well. Before we started marching for things we ain't need. Integrated schools. For what? Jobs for all, decent pay. We had that. And then police brutality. That's a civil right. But if we decided to say, okay, you know what? We gonna have our own police within our communities, with us being not citizens, with us not being citizens at that time, what could the government do to, They wouldn't have no say-so if we decide to franchise ourselves and say, tell you what, this is how we gonna get it done. We gonna have it like this. The government would not be able to do anything. We made the mistake by becoming citizens. And I'm gonna tell you right now, not only did we become citizens, I need y'all to explain to me if we are first class, second class, or third class citizens right now. What are we? Keep in mind, marching for first class citizenship. What is that? Are we that now? Because again, if we are in the same position that we were in back then, at this time, they're going to try to make it seem like it was a long time ago with the black and white pictures. You know how they do it. That's a straight lie. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't. These pictures weren't black and white. They know that. We could easily grab anyway. But they want to make it say, see, that's all a part of controlling the narrative, to make pretend like this was a freaking long time ago, and it wasn't. But you fighting for all of this. And what these white folks don't, anyway, still to this very day, we was in the same position. We are in the same position as we were back then. Nothing changed. But again, I'm talking about, I dare you to go ask any governor, any mayor, any activist that Candace Owens girl, all of them people that's claiming that they doing something for us, ask them this question. Ask them, are we first, second, or third class citizens? This is why it's affecting you right now. This is the answer. When Dane, where are you getting at? I'm telling you, this is a problem. When you have, again, when you have to fight for first class citizenship, that number one means you were not a part of it. You were not the part where they were claiming we the people. That was never written for you. All of those, oh, this is my government right. Oh, this is my amendment. Oh, this is my right according to the amendment, according to the Constitution. All of that is out the window unless you become a citizen of this corporation, unless you become a member of this organization, unless you become a member of this club. We made a mistake. The mistake is that we didn't franchise ourselves. So we disenfranchised ourselves. That's why we lost everything. Because at that point, once you sign up to become a registered voter, elector, that's it. Uh-oh. Did I tell you how you become a citizen? Yes, I did. That ain't got nothing to do with your social security number. Look how they try to make a scene. That ain't got nothing to do with your birth certificate. As soon as you become an elector, you register to vote, it is out the window. Now you're a citizen. And they purposely don't tell you which one. I'm going to get deeper. I ain't talking out the side of my neck. I'm going to show you. Again, I went over this before, but it's time for me to refresh your memory so it can sink in. I'm going to play some videos. But this is the CERN, first-class citizenship. And still to this very day, our people don't know that we never gained that. We are still in the same position. This is sad. This whole time, we could pull up these pictures left and right. And technically, the majority of this was in color, but they want to pretend like it was a long time ago. But I'm talking about those same problems that they posting up right now are the same problems we got right now. Right now. Is it jobs for all? Is this them right now? Is everybody getting a decent pay? Do everybody have equal rights? Are all schools integrated? Have all schools became, can we go to every single school? And segregated rules in public schools, did they do that? And I'm talking about schools. That's all of them, including colleges and universities. Can you go to any college that you want, or do you have to apply and then you got to wait for approval? You got to wait for a letter in the mail saying that you've been accepted, right? You got to wait for a phone call from that job saying that you've been accepted, right? You can't see that you're making an equal pay as your peers unless y'all come together and compare your pay stubs. Jobs for all. Really? Magic Johnson just became part owner of the Washington Redskins this year. Minority owner. Everybody else white. Jobs for all, huh? Voting rights. Oh yeah, they're gonna give you the right to vote, but they're gonna count you still 3/5 of your human being. You know why? Because there's too many of you. And they saying, oh no, all they're gonna do is think about themselves. So let's hurry up and bring more foreigners in and count them as a whole human being. And let's work some things out. Come on, Mexicans, come on over here. We going. And matter of fact, we ain't got to pay them nothing. You know why? And I'm talking about that's how they thinking. We ain't got to pay them nothing. You know why? Because there's too many of them coming. And they want to leave Mexico for whatever reason. But they thinking that they cool if they bring their brother, their sister, their mother, their father, and all the rest of their relatives along with them, their whole entire family. And they all working for little to nothing. But if they band together, they could build houses, and those houses could turn into communities over time. Now, I forgot which comedian that was that told y'all that the Mexicans are the new niggas. But that's the truth. Again, the government was never for you. The government was for themselves. This government was not designed for you. It was designed to help them and assist other foreigners. And I'm going to start off, matter of fact, I'm going to play a video starting off. I'm not going to play the whole video. I just want to play that part. I'm going to be playing sections of particular videos because there's something I want you to understand. Martin Luther King told us this already. Now, again, when we said that he did both, he helped us and hurt us. Where he helped us is at the tail end of his lifespan, where he was getting it all out. A lot of the stuff that he was getting out was the truth. But by that time, our people had been indoctrinated so bad and so rough and so, I'm talking about in depth. Like, oh gosh, our people were fully invested in being or becoming voters. Fully invested on becoming part of the Dixiecrat or become part of the Democrats or Republicans. It didn't matter. We got to become a part of this government. We got to become first-class citizens. We got to. Like, why we got to be with them? That's the whole point. Why? And then Martin Luther King started telling you straight up that this government was all for the foreigners this whole time. That's the reason why they weren't paying attention to you. Excuse me. When Martin Luther King, I had to blow my nose. When Martin Luther King started coming out telling you that the government was for those foreigners and have always been, his last thing was what? He like, all right, since y'all want to act like that, we gonna come up with a coalition. And we gonna start talking about all the lands that were confiscated from our people and handed over to foreigners, and they ain't had to do nothing. Yet we had to teach them how to do everything and take care of themselves, and the government still ain't look out for us. Martin Luther King was on the verge of showing our people that we are indigenous to this landmass and that this government was foreign. And this government will always be invested in foreign affairs. I mean, shit, we know that. They even got his own department. But the main speech, and y'all know what I'm talking about, this main speech that I'm talking about, people missed.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. Which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor.
Now, the thing is, and matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that because this is fire. But y'all, you know what happened? The reason why Martin Luther King was not being, y'all wasn't paying attention to him at this time is because he was on his way out. Some of y'all were calling him a martyr or radical or just a whole bunch of stuff at this time. And the reason why I know this is because I saw the newspapers coming against him. Even the so-called black newspapers were coming against him at that time when he was going against the government. Straight up. Calling him all sorts of names. This is the reason why this part wasn't broadcasted, because at that time, the government made moves to control the narrative and stop the main newspapers from publishing anything about him, and including our own so-called black newspapers. Companies stopping them. They were not promoting him at all. They were saying that he went rogue for saying the truth. Now, they were trying to dumb down his reach, the reach that they provided for him. Once Martin Luther King realized what happened, okay, and got tired of it, he disobeyed his own father, Michael King, because that's technically Martin Luther King's real name is Michael King. He disobeyed his own father, which was the person that was giving him these instructions, because his father worked for the damn government. I'm going to get into that at a later date. Be on the lookout for that. And oh, Black History Month. Yeah. So, and he was a plant, okay? Plant. That nigga, listen, anyway. So, I mean, just think about it. Why would they be the Luciferians? Okay. Wasn't even his last name, but why they attaching it to him? So, he working for the government. He got tired of it, disobeyed his father, disobeyed his overseers, disobeyed even the people that was a part of his Southern Leadership Conference. His I think that's what I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Southern Leadership Conference, Angers, and he had SNCC at the same time. Matter of fact, he had like 3 organizations at that time. Everybody started turning their back on Martin Luther King at this time when this came out. So he started a brand new coalition. Coalition. I said correlation. Coalition. Once he started that brand new one, which was at this time, the Poor People's Campaign. Yes, the SCLC. Everybody went against him. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all what happened. You don't believe me? Good. I want you to go back behind me and check it. I'm about to show you some things that's going to lead up to that too. Get ready. But this part right here, this video right here, is the reason why. And here's another thing. This video was a part of a movie that came out that they banned from YouTube. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I have the whole movie. This movie is not a movie, it's a documentary. They banned this. You cannot play this on YouTube. They banned it. Banned it. This is not a game. This entire documentary is on Martin Luther King promoting the Poor People's Campaign. Promoting the Poor People's Campaign. The Poor People's Campaign included All Niji and everybody else. Yes, this is banned from YouTube. You won't ever find this on YouTube. Ever. They banned it. You cannot see this no more. I have the entire thing. If you want it, go inside of the 13% community server and ask me. I'll drop it and download it. And if you got a YouTube channel and you try to upload it, don't say that Dane ain't try to warn you, because if you try to upload it, you gonna get your YouTube channel hit. Not by me, by YouTube. So I'm fair warning you. But yes, this right here has been banned, and this is a part of it. Now, this portion of this documentary, he's talking to a group of people that he's starting up right now, rallying them up. I need you to pay attention to every word that he's saying. This is the actual video right here that you see. This is the actual video. Now, I'm playing different visuals as he's talking because I don't want my channel hit. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're going to get you on a visual. This is, keep in mind, this Poor People's Campaign documentary is not copyrighted. Not copyrighted. But YouTube do not want this out because of so much stuff that was in this documentary. He was showing you all of our people and white folks included talking about the conditions that they were in right now and how the government betrayed them. This is what pissed Martin Luther King off. This is all in the doc. This is all in the doc. The doc was like an hour and 30 minutes long. This is all in the doc. I'm talking about in the doc. They were explaining it to Martin Luther King firsthand in his face. And you should see how he was responding. This is one of them. And he said, fuck it. This is what we gonna do now. Now, I'm gonna show, again, I'm just warming up the conversation because what he said here is so important, which meant that it was willing to undergird his white peasants from Europe with an economic flaw. You could tell he was letting it fly. He ain't never say nothing like that before. He was letting it fly, not caring if the government came for him. At the same time that America refused to give the Negro any land through an act of Congress, multiple acts of Congress here, multiple, and I pulled all of them up. I have a whole video out on that right now on my channel. I should have brought that one up. When they were allotting land stolen from our people and handed it to the foreigners. At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land. And the West and the Midwest, that is the entire United States, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic flaw. Which, in other words, technically, which meant that the government was willing to help foreigners and not us. This is the same thing today, ladies and gentlemen. Same thing. This government's interest is only invested in foreign affairs. This is the reason why the borders are open. This is the reason why they keep coming in. None of them had to take the vax. They got blessed with so many different things: housing, jobs, food, land, money, and took you out of the position that you were in. whether if you were in school, jobs, whatever it was, guaranteed that state removed you and put them foreigners in there. Now, the majority of y'all saying that y'all was in the United States, right? Tell me I'm lying. In your state that got foreigners that came in, tell me that y'all, it was nobody complaining about how they lost their job or they lost their home or they ran over the hotels. I'm talking about because foreigners that came in here, the funding got removed. DC, for example, the mayor in DC, and I remember, shout out to my mom, but my mother had part of it wrong, but she had part of it right. I want y'all to understand why the DC mayor pulled the plug on all of the folks out there that was on welfare. She stopped people's welfare money coming in DC for no reason but to help incoming foreigners. I need y'all to understand. Yes, this is happening in New York right now. Why you think they're trying to throw you off and show you underground tunnels right now? They're trying to throw you off of what they're doing. I've been exposed to underground tunnels. I've been exposed to underground cities. I did this years ago. Why are they trying to bring it up now? To throw you off. Because they are constantly helping other foreigners. That's another reason why they don't want Trump in there. Trump was about stopping that. And I'm gonna be real. I'm not for Republican or Democrat. I'm not for none of them people. But I know for a fact that Trump straight up said we closing the border. We deporting motherfuckers back where they belong. And I'm all for that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm all for that because the more foreigners you bring in, the more that's hurting us as indigenous people. Because the government is for only other foreigners. Am I lying? Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. I don't care. Look, I don't care if you subscribe. You're not going to get banned. Trust me. Moderators, don't ban them. If you disagree, tell me. This is happening right now. And then our people right now think that we can't do nothing about it when we could do everything that we want to do right now. Trump told you on more than one occasion, they're not after him. What you think right now is what they want to put out there. They're trying to pretend like they after him. He said, they not after me. He said, they not after me. They after you. I'm just in a way. So our people thinking right now that they after Trump, they're going to try to stop Trump from becoming president. Blah, 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 blah. No. They trying to stop you from taking control because they know for a fact that Trump wanted to bring America back to its greatest. And when America was at its greatest, we was in control.
Set it on fire. Fire.
It's not a game, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. I'm talking about you are in more control than you think, but I just need you to snap up out of the indoctrination that you're in right now. Again, this is just a warm-up because we got to get deeper. So yes, both, and you know, I'm going to tell you right up front, but I'm going to explain multiple different reasons why Martin Luther King did hurt us and he did help us. On the back end is when he started helping. He was trying to get it out as much as he could because he knew they were coming for him. Just like Malcolm X, right? Malcolm X told you they was about to get rid of him, right? Same situation. And Malcolm X told you who did it. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so did Martin Luther King. So, we know, before I go any further, we know, right? And ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, that this government is about foreign affairs. Hands down.
But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms.
Hold up. Same video. Hold up. Listen to what he's saying.
Set it on fire.
I'm going to tell you right now. I need y'all to understand. Focus on what he's saying. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize our farms. What does that mean, Dane? They brought out machines to do the jobs that they couldn't do by hand. Uh-oh. Now they replacing the person that know how to farm on these lands because they're indigenous here. They're going to replace the indigenous people with machinery. Low interest rates. They provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize our farms. He said that clearly, didn't he?
Not only that.
Hold on.
Low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms.
I'm trying to tell you. Now, I want y'all to understand what happened. This was before any machinery. This is before these foreigners learning how to farm in these lands, because a foreigner cannot grow anything within a territory that they're unfamiliar with. This is another reason why you know that we are the indigenous people of this landmass, because only indigenous people would know how to grow crops on this land. We know everything about this land and its weather, what we could do and what we cannot do. But if they provided county agents in order to further their expertise in farming, like he said, who were those county agents? I mean, they also hired our own people for U.S. Marshals. Wouldn't they hire farmers, our own farmers, as agents of the government in each county? Listen, and send them out there to go help others and teach them how to farm? If you hand our brothers or sisters a check, they gonna do it. How you think Frederick Douglass got paid? How you think the farmers got paid that became the county agents to further their expertise in farming? No taxes. How you think our people right now, why the majority of our people, hold on, I'm jumping, but it's still correlating. The majority of our people right now are not in control of the farmlands. Besides Bill Gates, before he inserted his, I'm a people professional, before he inserted his tail into our farms, into our plantations, into our territories, who was in charge of it? When I showed you pictures of our people doing the same type protesting, just around the same time period, of how 50 million acres of land, 500 million acres of land was taken from our people. I'm talking about, y'all can Google that. What you think we was talking about? Just housing? All rural areas, ladies and gentlemen, that we owned, that the government took. Some became unincorporated, some became federalized. So the parts that the government wanted for the foreigners, they took from our people that did what? That decided to become a part of this government under the color of law. They provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize our farms. What is that? Oh, wait a minute. Are we paying the same? Okay. Is my next door neighbor paying the same property tax as I am? Is my next door neighbor's land getting taxed the same way my land is? Especially if my next door neighbor is white. Listen, and this is the reason why he came in with this. Look, right after that.
Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Not only that, yeah, that was the part that YouTube, I forgot about that. I was showing y'all poor white people during that section, during that small section. YouTube had an issue with that, made me take that down. Made me take that down and block that out. That's real. But at that time, I just want you to hear what he's saying. I was reading that message myself. I totally forgot about that. But I was showing you poor white families that were coming. And those, if you don't believe me, good, those pictures exist. Go find them. Go find them. Type in that same era that I'm referring to. All of those people were poor, just like everybody else in the Ku Klux Klan. Poor. All those people were poor.
That they could mechanize their farms, in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that,
today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm. What's that? And they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. I know this speech verbatim. The reason why is because it's so true. This is talking about our problems today. Today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm. Don't farm. Here's some money. What is that, y'all? Hey, y'all don't gotta work. Y'all don't get, look how the government take care of their own. Y'all don't gotta work. Y'all don't gotta farm. No. We got the machines for that. Here goes some money anyway. What's that? What is it? That's welfare, ain't it? That's welfare, ain't it? This is the reason why they trying to tell you that our people are the majority on welfare, and that's a lie. The majority of the foreigners are on welfare. Right now, still. You can look that up by way of the not FBI. Who was that did that? Was that the IMF records? You can look up the census records. Excuse me, census records. And I believe that was FBI. I'm gonna remind myself to grab that. And once I find that, I'm gonna post that in the 13% community server because I want y'all to see the numbers. They are calculating this. And it's not and they gonna say white, but I need y'all to understand that white people is all of them foreigners, all of them, no matter their skin complexion. No matter. They could be African, they could be Muslim, they could be whatever. They gonna be considered white. That's a status within this government. And they could immediately get benefits. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know how they make our people go through thick and thin? Oh, you can't be married. Oh, you can't have a man in the house. Oh, they not doing that to them. I'm telling you, they are not doing that to them. When our people want government assistance, how many kids you got? Where's your baby father? And then they try to put the baby father on what? Child support. They not doing the same thing to us. I'm trying to tell you. Mark my word here. Hold on, let's go.
Many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. Now, this is what we are faced with, and this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check,
He killed that junk. And this was all freestyle, not written. He killed that. And all he did was tell you what happened. He killed it. Now, I'm going to show y'all another video. Hold up. Let me bring this over. I'm going to show y'all another video damn, that monitor, that monitor fell down. Hold up, wait a minute. 1 second. Y'all might have heard that one of my monitors fell down because I was hitting my table and my monitors are up. But it didn't fall off the stand, but it fell down from being up. Like, never mind. Anyway, I'm over here hitting the table the whole time. That monitor said, all right. It came right down. But anyway, hold on, let me try to fix that real quick. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it slid down, yeah. Let me grab the other video I want to show you. Now, I'm still gonna consider this portion a warm-up. Oh man, we already 1 hour in. Damn. But y'all going, shit, man. I'm trying so hard not to make this thing 2 hours, but I got a feeling this about to be over 2 hours. And I know people was complaining, damn, Dane, your last live stream was 5 hours. I'm like, I can't help it because there's so many things that you gotta see, you know? And I know it's people out there, shit, I'm not watching this whole hour. But shout out to my truckers. I'm sure the truckers watching it and listening. Y'all, shout out, y'all. I mean, you know, the same people that's provide these grocery stores out, that's making sure that you eat. Yeah, shout out to the truckers, okay?
Set it on fire. Fire.
But yeah, and y'all be careful out there too on them roads like that. I gotta give it to you, man. I can't break this down in parts. I mean, shit, that's not, I wouldn't even consider that part one. I know I'm about to go over 2 hours. All right, I gotta, at least let me get this. Oh my goodness, it's about to be long. I know it's about to be long. All right, I gotta get this part out the way because y'all gotta see what I'm talking about. Let me set this up. Hold up. Was it this one? Nah, not that. This one. Yeah. This one. Okay, so let me skip up to, hold on, let me skip around. Yeah, because I need y'all to see the, yeah. I'm glad I looked at this. I need y'all to see this part right. Hold on, let me skip up to about right here.
Aware of that negative affirmation in the first place. This is why.
Okay, so let me start right here with this one. I got the music. Okay, the music was off. All right, so I'm gonna be jumping around throughout different videos that I have because I want to pinpoint some things. That's all correlating to this topic, y'all. This ain't jumping on topic. Here we go.
It is important to be cognizant of the difference between believing and knowing. Ever since we began to see people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X appearing on national media stations and television programs alike, protesting and campaigning for many call to action purposes, you would see those same tactics utilized today, but in a much more provocative sense. And here's what I mean by that. Protesting and marching and the consistent need to vote for a political representative was assembled and heavily campaigned by both parties of the political spectrum. And the copper-colored people were manipulated into believing that their vote will count towards something positive for their own benefit, and things will be changed for the better good for their community's sake.
Notice how this is in color. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone.
But that promise has been made over and over and over again. And look at what happens. You see how your voice doesn't count when it comes to yelling for justice, right? Now just ask yourself, why would you believe that your vote counts as if it'll actually change anything for the better? Think history isn't telling you otherwise? Now, we can recall learning in school about how our ancestors were not allowed the right to vote until the passing of the 15th Amendment, which was ratified February 3rd, 1870. And according to the National Archives and Records Administration, on pages 61 and 62 of the milestone documents of 1995, the so-called Negroes, quote, exercised the franchise and held office in many southern states through the 1880s. But in the early 1890s, steps were taken to ensure subsequent white supremacy.
Hold up. I'm going to let this sink in for a second. I'm going to drop a bomb too, but I'm going to let this sink in for a second. Y'all can recall that our people held office. Hear me out. We're going to walk it down. Our people held office in the 1880s, actually 1870s, 1880s. But then in the 1890s, this is according to the milestone document, in the 1890s, steps were taken to ensure subsequent white supremacy. What law came out? Oh, let me not jump. Let me leave it alone. Hold on. No. Let me leave it alone.
Literacy tests for the vote, grandfather clauses, excluding from the franchise all whose ancestors had not voted in the 1860s, and other devices to disenfranchise African Americans were written into the constitutions of former Confederate states.
Now they're going to say, of course, the milestone documents are saying that it's only, concerning the Confederate states. But again, we went over in the last live stream that the Confederate States and the Union came together. They unified and created the United States of America. So if these quote unquote grandfather clauses were inside of the constitutions of those states, then it was grandfathered in to the Constitution in 1871. They disenfranchised you. See, excluding from the franchise this is them building their franchise up, 1871, excluding from the franchise all whose ancestors had not voted in the 1860s, and other devices to disenfranchise African Americans were written into the constitutions, but not just of the Confederate States. The Union agreed to that too. I keep in mind that had nothing to do with slavery. That was all about a compromise. Again, just like Democrat and Republican, the Confederate States and the Union were the same as far as their government is concerned. There wasn't no, this side won due to a war. It was both sides won due to the compromise. We went over that in the last live stream. But yeah, that was grandfathered in. These were grandfathered clauses that they made sure were inserted into their constitution. Brand spanking new constitution. They wrote, remember when I told y'all they wrote themselves in 1871? And that other video when I was talking about the creation of white and black, I also informed you all that we were never considered citizens. The only citizens of America were considered white. There was no such thing as a slave being a citizen, as a black being a citizen, as a Native American being a citizen, as an Indian being a citizen. The only citizens of this foreign government were white. And that video was called the creation of the term. Hold on, what did I say? I believe it was called the creation of the terms black and white or something like that. I named it something like that. But that's on the channel, not as a live stream. That's a VOD. Here we go.
End quote. I would like for you to note this portion of the quote where it says, exercised the franchise and held office in many southern states. Because this is how you know that our ancestors were prospering as capitalists in this society during this time period, being as though they were able to run businesses, create franchises, hold elections, and office as a franchisor.
Right.
Each business can elect one who is chosen, or they may select one who is handpicked to take an office or employment, meaning that the business can either elect or select its president, vice president, secretary, or treasurer, just to name a few things as an example. But somehow this phrase was merged into moving from business to more of a political sense, to the point where the definition of franchise is now being associated with both the right to vote in public elections and an authorization granted by a government or company to an individual or group, enabling them to carry out specified commercial activities.
So they flipped it.
With the franchisor being the person or company that grants a franchise, and the franchisee being the person or company doing business under the name or mark of another franchise. It is an elaborate agreement under which the franchisee does business in accordance with methods and procedures prescribed by the franchisor. A collective bargaining agreement should ring a bell here, which is nothing more than a legal binding contract. I share more about that here.
What is this?
You that might not know, for starters, collective bargaining is the process of negotiating the terms of employment between an employer and a group of promising employees. A collective bargaining agreement is a formally written, legally enforceable contract that could be valid up until any written specified time period between the owner or equivalent decision makers of an organization and its employees represented by an independent trade union. Sounding familiar at all to you yet?
Union, Confederate States Union.
Let's take things a step further.
That was the
Listen
union.
closely. According to the 1828 Webster's English Language Dictionary, the noun bargain is defined as, quote, an agreement between parties concerning the sale of property, or a contract by which one party binds himself to transfer the right to some property for a consideration, and the other party binds himself to receive the property
and pay the consideration. That's also employment.
End quote.
The application for employment.
It goes on to say that the verb bargain means to make a contract or conclusive agreement, often with for before the thing purchased, as to bargain for a house. A bargained with B for his farm. End quote. So with all of that being said, we can determine that the CBA that's being held by the Indian child represents a binding labor contract, or also known as an indenture of servitude, which is known nowadays as an application for employment or a work for hire agreement.
Woo. Same thing.
And
nothing
what
changed.
was this bargain, you ask? Well, who else was promised lots of things only once they have completed cultivating America from the ground up, like acres of land, for example, and they never received them?
Right. 40 acres and a mule.
According to the International Franchise Association, under the title Foundations of Franchising, it states, quote, every franchise relationship is founded on the mutual commitment of both parties to fulfill their obligations under the franchise agreement. Each party will fulfill its obligations, will act consistently with the interests of the brand, and will not act as to harm the brand and system.
Right.
This willing interdependence between franchisors and franchisees, and the trust and honesty upon which it is founded, has made franchising a worldwide success as a strategy for business growth. End quote.
So it's not only in America.
In which all of this should make you wonder, could it be possible that once a person signs up to vote, then that individual has now consented to entering into a legal binding contract?
See, that's the problem. That's what, and I said that earlier, once we signed up to become registered voters, electors, voters, whatever, that's the problem. That was the main problem. And we ended up becoming inadvertently citizens. Okay. Now, of course, the question remains, are we first class, second class, or third class citizens? That's the problem.
Inadvertently?
Mr. Carmichael, do you see any change in atmosphere in the South? Do you think that we are approaching a more militant or revolutionary stage in the civil rights movement in the South?
Yes, I certainly think so. I think we're moving now into a political arena. And I think that what Negroes are now tampering in, what they're tampering with, will touch the entire country. To be very precise, for example, many Negroes who have registered to vote have been evicted from their lands in Lowndes County people who have worked on plantations for 35, 40 years, because they're registered to vote, have been evicted.
Listen, this is a bomb, and this is look, and certain people out there was holding activists like Stokely Carmichael up high, and other people of this era, knowing what they was doing was wrong. He admitted that once they registered to vote, they lost their lands, they lost their jobs. I told you, this worked against you. This wasn't for our benefit. And they used the vulnerable children. Let me not call them children. I know y'all got mad because I kept calling them children, but they used the vulnerable young adults. How about that? That were in colleges and universities. They got into their mindset. Who was they? The government. They sent in their agents and straight up said, look, this is going to be the agenda for us to take that land from you. But they not going to tell them that. What they going to tell the young adults is, look, this is going to be a benefit for you and your family. Make sure you go out there and tell everybody to go register to vote. And everybody that owned land or farms or whatever was straight up saying, hell no. We about to lose everything if we do that. We becoming citizens. And they are acknowledging it. This is, am I making sense here? Let's listen to it one more time just in case. Listen to what he's saying.
Mr. Carmichael, do you see any change in atmosphere in the South? Do you think that we are approaching a more militant or revolutionary stage?
This was in
the civil rights
1966
movement in the South.
Yes, I certainly think so. I think we're moving now into a political arena. And I think that what Negroes are now tampering in, what they're tampering with, will touch the entire country. To be very precise, for example, many Negroes who have registered to vote have been evicted from their lands in Lowndes County. People who have worked on plantations for 35, 40 years, because they're registered to vote, have been evicted.
Just in case you thought he didn't say that, he added in some, just because they registered to vote, they've been evicted off of their lands. How is this a great thing? Excuse me, this is an agent. This is an agent. This is a person that's working against our people. And he's not the only one. You seen it right before your eyes. They admitting it. Our people wasn't listening. We lost everything. Once the federal government was like, oh, okay. Oh, now you want to be registered to vote. All right, we're going to make you citizens. That land is ours. And people wonder how we lost our lands, because we gave it to them by becoming citizens. We did this to ourselves. We let this happen. I know the next question is going to be, Dane, how are we going to correct this? Go get my book, Fixing America's Broken Promise. I tell you in detail how we're going to do it. Me and my wife. It's called Fixing America's Broken Promise. Get it. Notice how the title say Fixing America's Broken Promise. Go get it. It's on my website, DaneMakeYouThink.com. If you want to get it from Amazon or anywhere else books are sold, that's on you. You get it from my website, I'm signing a copy. Me and my wife. We still doing it. I remember when I told my wife, I said, we just going to do a limited amount. My wife was like, what? What if they want your signature? I was like, you know what? All right, we'll take that limit off. I got rid of the limit. Anybody that order off the website, we signing the book. But yeah, and I mean, it's more than just me signing a book. I want you to read the goddamn thing from front to back. Nah, see, hold on. Now, I understand. Well, listen, I understand. Yeah, we should definitely be doing some class action lawsuits, but against who? Real talk, against who? Against the government. But keep in mind, we're trying to do class action lawsuits against the government when it came to reparations, right? And when the reparations began, when the government began to pay attention to our outcries about reparations, what they do? They turned it right back on us and said, oh, well, we're going to create this commission so we could study what happened. That they're not going to admit to their wrongdoing. The government, this foreign government is a lot more intelligent than you think. The reason why is because they hire intelligent agencies for that reason, right? Central Intelligence. Am I making this up? So if it's something that a politician can't understand, they're going to go grab the most intelligent person in that field and say, help us out with this. How could we get around this? Well, tell them niggas that we need to study it. Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. And that's exactly what happens. I mean, that's what we can see right here, right now. But yet we had 2 years ago, before this video, 2 years ago is when Stokely Carmichael came in with the so-called Black Power movement. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, well, they ain't know the Black Power movement was, what's my boy name from Cali? My goodness, what's his name? Y'all gonna say it's those two people that started the Black Panther Party. Shoot. What is that boy's name? I'm trying to remember his name right now. They drove him crazy. And the other one ran to Africa. Huey P. Newton. Huey P. Newton. They drove him crazy. And the other one ran to Africa. I forgot his name. Seal, right? Bobby Seale. That's right, Bobby Seale. So, and almost Stokely Carmichael did too. And whole time he's what? Trinidadian, Jamaican. But I mean, keep in mind, he wasn't out. And the reason why I brought that up, whatever one, Trinidadian, Jamaican, whatever one you want to pick, he wasn't out there in the plantations like our ancestors were. But all of a sudden, he growing up with them white folks out there. Matter of fact, I'm about to play that. Should I play that? Yeah, I should play that. So y'all can understand his background and what his agenda was. Because we talking 2 years after he came in to take over SNCC, which was a move that Martin Luther King made. His whole agenda was to stop Martin Luther King, was to stop the Poor People's Campaign. And it wasn't the nonviolent part. It was the Poor People's Campaign. He was in there to switch everybody's mind from that to Black Power, which never accumulated as far as the Black Power part is concerned. This guy was a traitor, big time, big time. And I would debate anybody that has a big platform about it too. I got big evidence on this guy, huge evidence that this is a plant. He was a straight plant. And he was side by side with Martin Luther King to stop Martin Luther King. After Martin Luther King figured it out. Like, hold up, wait a minute. No, forget that. Y'all, we indigenous. This our land. These our farms. Let's go get our check. Then they inserted this guy. They switched it from Martin Luther King's movement to Black Power. And he was at the forefront. Wasn't nobody in front of him. He was at the forefront. And this is not a game. And it wasn't Huey P. And matter of fact, he gave the Black Panther Party's name before it even accumulated. He started the Black Panther Party. He did. I showed you that too. Matter of fact, I have that. I could show you that. I'll get into that in a second. But the whole reason why I'm bringing all of this up is because he's admitting right here, this is on television, he's on the news being interviewed about our condition, okay, in 1966. And he straight up admitted that as soon as our people registered to vote, they were evicted off their lands. They lost their jobs. They lost everything. When you being evicted from your land, where you going? Listen to how deep that get. Not evicted from your house, evicted from your land. Listen, where are you going? Listen to how deep that get, y'all. Listen to how deep that get. He said evicted from their land, verbatim. Listen, one more time. This is the last time, I promise.
In the civil rights movement in the South.
Yes, I certainly think so. I think we're moving now into a political arena. And I think that what Negroes are now tampering in, what they're tampering with, will touch the entire country. To be very precise, for example, many Negroes who have registered to vote have been evicted from their lands in Lowndes County. People who have worked on plantations for 35, 40 years because they've registered to vote have been evicted.
Evicted from their lands. Not just in Lowndes County, that happened anywhere they registered to vote. Notice how he said, for example, because that's one. But this government was working to get us off of our land. Because they registered to vote, they were evicted. This is coming out of the snake's mouth. This is not a game. Now, I'm trying to tell you, we had issues back then, 50s, 60s, 70s. This is where we had our issue. I'm talking about we had the biggest issues then, more so than the so-called slavery time that they're going to say, well, we were slaves. We had issue after issue in the 50s, in the 60s, and the 70s. Because we disenfranchised ourselves. We did not franchise ourselves, in which a lot of the activists of that slavery time, that was so they're going to call them, what did they call? They called, what's that word? Abolitionists. They called them abolitionists. Mark my word. Look, y'all, the majority of the abolitionists were rich and wealthy. That were needy now. The majority of the abolitionists were rich and wealthy. Their agenda was not about to stop slavery. Their agenda was to franchise ourselves. I'm gonna calm down. Was to go into business for ourselves. Was to start up our own government. Was to begin having our own nations. Some of you all will consider that nationalism. That's a part of it, but that's not all of it. That's a part of it, though. But Dane, what about Marcus Garvey? Wasn't he trying to do the same? Marcus Garvey was an agent. This is the reason why he's buried in London now. He betrayed not only Jamaica, he betrayed our own people that he was gathering up on this side. He is an agent, just like this nigga. Agent. They wasn't for our people. They were put in place to stop us from franchising ourselves. This is not a game. And they were using the people of the Caribbean islands because they were, I'm talking about as far as the government is concerned, and making them agents because they were cheaper to pay. They were cheaper to pay off. Hey, man, run and go tell your mother and your father I'm going to move them from Jamaica and hand them it's going to be an astronomical amount to them, and I'm going to make them, we're going to provide y'all with the best house, the best education. All of a sudden, he coming over here, and now, 2 years later, he is in control? That's the government doing. He ain't had no money like that. Same thing with Marcus Garvey. I'm talking about name a book that he was selling at that time in order for him to be making some money at that time now. Stokely Carmichael. Name it. I dare you. Dane, I got Stokely Carmichael book. What's the name of it? Stokely Carmichael owned the newspaper. What's the name of it? Stokely Carmichael was selling some t-shirts, some jeans, and some... Prove it. He ain't... What you mean? He ain't have no product in the street. But the product that was handed down to him from the government. Same thing with Marcus Garvey. Remember when the person say, if you really want to see who in charge, you look at the money. You trace the money. I told you a long time ago, this was years ago, in order to connect the dots, you got to trace them. It's always going to lead back to a money scheme. As always, it won't ever fail. There's people out there right now confusing me for Tariq Nasheed and all the rest of them, Umar Johnson. No, don't confuse me with that. I'm not out here promoting a scheme. I'm not out here promoting some idea, some hopes and dreams, and pocketing the money that you donate. And that's it. No change. Get it? No change after the money that you gave me? You ain't getting no change in return? Double entendre? Dane, you not building up a school. Neither did you. Dang, you not building up a museum. Neither did you. What a school and a museum gonna do for us right now? When we have been disenfranchised. Look at the bigger picture. I'm about the bigger picture. I'm about real change. I ain't talking about the Obama change. I'm talking about real change. I'm talking about the change where you're going to hear people regurgitate verbatim what I'm saying. Because I'm going to make sure it's embedded in your brain that it's only going to happen if we do this. The changes that we want to happen, we got to do this. We got to do for ourselves. That's it right there. That's the answer to it all. It ain't that hard. Again, I want you to tell me how we were living prior to desegregation, prior to integration. How were we living? May my grandfather rest in peace. When I talked to my grandfather about back then before they started desegregating, my grandfather described his life and he enjoyed it. And he had white neighbors, so-called white neighbors. In Florence, South Carolina. In Florence, South Carolina? Dane, what racism? I didn't experience that. You ain't experienced that, granddad? Nah, Dane. My next door neighbor was white. When I came down there to go visit great grandma, the white neighbors were still there. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? You want something to eat? Nah, we good. Great grandma just cooked. Oh, I see y'all going down to the bakery, so y'all about to go get some. Man, that bakery used to smell good. Am I lying, Florence? The one that they took out and put a hospital there, that bakery used to be. Anyway, listen, the whole point is this. And matter of way, the Niji ran that bakery, by the way. I'm talking about you smelled that bakery down the street. Man, listen. Anyway, not everybody experienced racism, but they tried to make it seem like that was happening during this era. Of course, they promoted racism. We know we had prejudiced people, but racism didn't exist until this era right here. The black and white of a race of people that does not exist still to this day. It's about to get real deep. Again, black and white is a status. Your skin complexion is not the color black. Their skin complexion is not the color white. Then what does that mean? You need to be asking yourself that. Then what does that mean? If we call them people white and their skin complexion is not white, it's pale, and we call them people black and their skin complexions it ain't black, it's various shades of the color brown, then what does that mean? That's your status in this government. Whether if they're going to give you some type of form of privilege because you're alive or you're dead. Again, I told you the status of white by the government is something that the government handed down to its citizens to make them privileged enough to think that there's an illusion that they are that close to the 1%. When the term black came about, you were not granted no privileges. Still to this day. They are pretending that you have privileges because you decided to make yourself a voter, and still to this day, you cannot right now name which class you fall in. Right now, you considering yourself black, but what class, before there was race, there was class, what class do you fall in? First class citizenship? Second class citizenship? Or third class citizenship? We know that it existed. We know it did. We know it did. First class citizenship. We know it did. Ain't no way it didn't. That's what you was fighting for during that same era. First class citizenship. What are we now? What are we now? I'm telling you. And they naming that those people in the Middle East is a third world country. Then where's the second? Nigga, where's the first? That's third world countries. Where's the first and the second? Here, listen. My wife told you when you get on a plane, it's first class, and then it's everybody else behind them. The first class, not all of our folk could afford it. On a real note. That's just on a plane. Do you think our people could afford first class citizenship in the government? Think this don't affect you right now? Yes, it do. Wake up. Yes, it do.
Niggas need to wake up. Wake up.
It affects you right now.
Relax and take notes. Take notes. Take notes.
Hold on, let me finish this one off real quick.
So that raises a philosophical question, not only for us, but for the whole country. Can property-less people be made as equal as property owners through the vote?
A legal binding contract that purposely removes certain constitutional rights away from you, that in turn forces an individual to fulfill obligations and act consistently with the interests of the brand that they choose or were forced to do business with. This is uncommonly known as the evolution of slavery. Since steps were taken in the early 1890s to ensure subsequent white supremacy by the formal use of devices like literacy tests and grandfather clauses to ensure the disenfranchisement of the American Indians as young children. The word devices is used here in reference to a plan or a scheme or some type of trick with a particular aim.
I didn't even know I put that in there.
Set it on fire.
I didn't even know I put that in there. I'm so glad. Thank you, Dane. I appreciate you putting that in there. Thank you. They needed to hear that. I'm going to just let this sink in. Devices. Well, the reason why they said device, not your cell phone devices. Not that tablet. Not that laptop. A plan or a scheme or trick with a particular aim. Talk to them. I swear.
It's up.
That's it. I'm so glad y'all hear this. You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. Oh, let me let that fire go away so you can see the rest of the screen. Okay, here we go.
Literacy tests is being tied to voting only. But during the 1890s, you saw the establishment of HBCUs, and the literacy test became a mandatory requisite in order to achieve an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, as an example, in which this piece of paper acknowledges just how much of an excellent worker or employee you have gradually become. So the question remains,
that's deep.
Who exactly are the franchisers? And then while we're at it, who exactly are the franchisees?
I'm going in. Woo.
Looking back at it all now,
End this cycle.
You may recall noticing that during each presidential election, from Abraham Lincoln and beyond, substantial amounts of precedents will arise, conveniently aligning with the time period given to cast your votes in for the next president. These precedents will take place in order to capture the attention of one's mindset.
Something done or said that may serve or be adduced as an example to authorize a subsequent act of the like kind. Not precedents.
By moving the individual emotionally
to an event, a false flag. A false flag. All right, hold on.
The point where whatever precedents took place and was heavily promoted by the media to the public, it eventually propels one's decision to act in emergency response to that precedent, driving the individual straight to the polls in order to emotionally cast their votes in as the end result. I'll give you an example here that you would least expect to be one. Taking it back to the time period when the phrase Black Power was initially used.
We want Black Power. We want Black Power. We want Black Power.
The Nijis that were living throughout the North and especially the southernmost regions of America, aka Turtle Island, all fell victim to unprecedented acts of racial discrimination, especially when it came to regaining political powers they once had on a congressional level during the late 1870s. The 15th Amendment was ratified during the year 1870, which prohibited the states from denying any male U.S. citizen the right to vote based on, quote, race, color, or previous condition of servitude. However, by the time the Niji sought to fill up those newly created political vacancies, particular people associated with the Dixiecrats, or rather known as the Democrats, conducted devious tactics against the Nijis, to say the least, to not only completely erase their reputations and representations in the political realm, but also icing their rights to vote against it all by discounting their votes to just merely political jargon that eventually became campaign material or another form of entertainment over the years. So it wasn't until 95 years later when the initial Voting Rights Act was signed into law by then President Lyndon B. Johnson on August 6, 1965, that forced the state governments to finally participate with previously enacted federal laws that allowed for the so-called Negroes to have the right to vote. So now, with this brand new allowance from the government finally afforded to the Nijis, both Republicans and the Democrats had to act fast with gaining the trust of the so-called Negro communities, and especially in the South. So what does a politician do when he or she wants to win an election with your votes? It's simple, really. They'll just play with your emotions.
And look at the visual, and it's flashing blue and red. The editing.
James Howard Meredith was the name used for a second time in American history to steer one's emotions into a false sense of needing some type of political emergency relief. The first time, then 29-year-old James Meredith was instructed by someone to attempt to desegregate the University of Mississippi by attending as a student during the year 1962. It was said to have led to a race riot, causing 2 unnamed deaths and some 160 U.S. Marshals and 40 National Guardsmen were wounded somehow.
Listen, this is what they were saying in the newspapers. 2 unnamed deaths. They didn't mention their names for a reason. 160 U.S. Marshals wounded and 40 National Guardsmen wounded. By who? Were they fighting themselves? Who? By who? Okay.
But with multiple race riots occurring throughout this time period already, this particular precedent was regarded as, quote, a pivotal moment in history of civil rights in the U.S. by the Department of Justice Project. James graduated in '63 with a degree in political science. He then continued his education all the way in Nigeria at the University of Ibadan. I could be mispronouncing that. Then he returned to the US 2 years later in 1965, and then out of nowhere, James Meredith randomly launches his March Against campaign, where he's back in the spotlight again for yet another political precedent. But this time around, the pot thickens, being as though he became a victim of an attempted murder, or so the story claims. during a very hot summer on the date of June 6, 1966. According to the National Archives, James Meredith set out to march from Memphis, Tennessee, some 220 miles straight to Jackson, Mississippi.
Stop. Just stop. I dare any one of you to march 220 miles from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, Mississippi. I dare you. That's number one. Number two, who did he go with? Hold up.
With an African walking stick in one hand and a Bible in another. All by himself with nobody in attendance for support, no verification.
With nobody in attendance for support or verification. So we are going to assume that he marched 220 miles with an African walking stick and a Bible. No verification, but this is what the newspaper would tell you.
But his goal was to, quote, inspire Negroes to register and go to the polls.
Wait a minute. So to inspire the Negroes, oh Lord, to go to the polls to register and vote? Because you walk 220 miles, that's going to make me go register and vote. Look, y'all, I was out here for 220 miles. Listen, Lord Jesus, I got a Bible. Listen, child. You got to go you got to go vote. Trust me, I didn't walk 220 miles for no reason, Lord. The Lord told me to do this, to tell you to go vote. Get off the plantations and get off your ass and go vote. Right now, it's going to save us. You want Jesus? You're going to have Jesus when you go vote. And our people fell for this? Oh, okay. We fell for the preacher talk. Okay, let's continue. What else?
But without any media presence, the internet, or any outcries of support for his cause, how difficult could it be for James Meredith to inspire people to go out and vote?
Right after that, right?
It would be like trying to start a car on an empty tank. So that could only mean that a miracle must happen in order for people to even see what Meredith was attempting to do here.
So how did he bring attention to himself?
It was said that on the second day of his alleged one-man march, a very small group of unnamed people and a few journalists joined James just outside of Hernando, Mississippi. And a little after 4 p.m. during a hot summer afternoon, two photographers that just so happened—
Don't ask me how I got this footage. Keep going.
—happened to be sitting on the side of the road waiting for Coca-Cola to be delivered to them from a third photographer, noticed James Meredith in their rearview mirror, marching up the side of the road behind them on the left side shoulder of US 51. According to documents held by the National Archives from the Department of Justice, a white male appeared on the scene by the name of Aubrey James Norvell, shouting out loud, "I just want James Meredith." Then he blasted a 12-gauge shotgun towards James, allegedly striking him in the head, neck, back, and leg.
Wait a minute. Allegedly striking him in the leg, neck, back, and head. He just want James Meredith. Don't even know who this person is because he wasn't on the news. The reporters just seen him conveniently the second day. But this guy just so happened to know who he is? Okay, let's keep going.
Contradicting reports claimed that he was shot by sniper bullets.
What?
And I must admit that it's great news, but it's also odd that he somehow survived. But besides all of that,
you got, that don't look like he got, that look like some great acting to me. Help me, y'all, help! I just got shot. Help! And you mean to tell me Ain't nobody start running. That car is still sitting there. You hear any gun, you running. You taking your car, you hauling tail. And he on the ground, help me, get my stick. Where's my Bible? What? Hold up.
How convenient was it for photographers and journalists to be there just in time to witness this entire precedent taking place?
What? And the photographers and the media is there. Are you okay? Hold on, wait. Let's add in some ketchup real quick. Hold on. Let's make it. Here, lay down. Just continue to lay down. Just stay there. No, just stay still. We got it. We got ketchup packs. We got fake blood. We got pig's blood. We got you. Stay there. We gonna take some great pictures. Make it look like you hurt now. Make it look like you hurt. We gonna put some on your head. Look, we gonna put some on your head. Put some on your arm. Put some on your leg. Stay there. Ain't nobody gonna call an ambulance or nothing. He getting ready to die. Allegedly.
Things can't be any more rendered. It was said that the shooter literally sat on the side of the road and waited patiently for the police to arrive and arrest him. Aubrey was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but 3 of those years—
Wait a minute. He sat on the side of the road and waited to get arrested? He getting arrested by a police officer. Wait a minute. With a pipe in his mouth? And they taking pictures conveniently. He going to jail with a pipe in his mouth. And they taking pictures. Nah.
were mysteriously waived for him.
Wait. What happened? Say it again,
Police to arrive and arrest him. Aubrey was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but 3 of those years were mysteriously waived for him.
Okay.
And with all of that being said, the miracle was achieved. Visual messages of James Meredith seen, quote, ran in nearly every newspaper and magazine across the country. In one photo, Meredith screams out in pain from the blast of shotgun pellets torn into his back and head as he crawls across the highway.
That's cap. That's cap. But look how they did it. They got to control the narrative. You know they was going to control the narrative by way of them newspapers back then, right? You wasn't there to witness that. Oh, but conveniently the reporters were. Conveniently the reporters were. And he had somebody out to get him as if they knew him prior to this hitting the newspapers. You're lying.
According to the Clarion Ledger. This exposes that the civil rights movement depended strictly on visual images for political effectiveness, which came with many pros and cons. And here's what I mean by that. In the book entitled For All the World to See, Visual Culture and the Struggle for Civil Rights, author Maurice Berger writes, quote, it was not just through political or legal writing, but also through compelling images that the civil rights movement altered perception about race.
Ooh. Not just through political or legal writing, but also through compelling images that the civil rights movement altered perception about race. Keep going.
And thus advanced the case of black legitimacy within white America.
So you started trouble. You started trouble by giving people images. You gave them a story. You get just like how they show us, they got to give us images of so-called slave ships. They got to give us images of so-called slaves. No verifying none of that now. They just gave us the images. This is controlling the narrative, ladies and gentlemen, one-on-one. And when I tell you to question the civil rights movement, this is just scratching the surface. But this is definitely the beginning stages of you questioning everything that you were ever told about that era. And a lot of our problems resided back then. And you think that wasn't man-made?
Photographs of the brutality, intensity, and exigency of Black Americans' struggle for racial equality appeared in great numbers in newspapers and magazines in the 1960s. The golden age of visual media in the country.
The golden age of visual media in the country. So that's problem number one.
White America could no longer ignore the ugliness of what was taking place. By placing the question of civil rights front and center, the mainstream press, intentionally or otherwise, forged a path through which this imagery could enter the minds and hearts of many Americans. End quote. Republican Senator Jacob Jarvis of New York said, "I know of nothing which has more keened the American people to the moral implications of the struggle for civil rights than the photographs which the American press and magazines have shown of actual events on the Southern Front." Political activism in the South led to political action in Washington. The three photographers that were on the scene were Vernon Merritt III, who was freelancing for Life magazine, veteran wire service photographers Jack Thornell and Sammy Parrish of United Press International and the Associated Press, along with news media reporter Tom Jarrell and cameraman Chuck Ferris of ABC News were all in attendance.
I got all their names.
All of this media coverage was conveniently present for Meredith's one-man march to be presented to the public as breaking news, all just to stroke your emotions to make you register and vote.
So not only was that a problem, okay, for our people, that was the start of the problem. That enticed our people. Not this nigga going to go door to door and asking people to go register and vote. They needed something else that's going to entice the people to do something, right? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter didn't jump off until we saw what happened with George Floyd, right? Hold on, was it George Floyd? Hold on, wait, back up. Was it George Floyd or was it, no, it wasn't George Floyd, was it, y'all? Wasn't it the Martin, the little boy that allegedly went to the grocery store, had a Snickers bar and something else? Hold on, was it him? Damn, now I forgot which president took that over and made that Black Lives Matter jump. Where, Trayvon Martin, was it Trayvon? They gave us a lot of them. Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, that was another one. A whole bunch of them came back to back to back. And conveniently, it happened during a time where they wanted to get political control over people's mindsets. Not saying some of it wasn't real. Some of it was real, but a lot of it wasn't. And a lot of it was purposely done. Notice how only, maybe one or two of the police officers that did any, wrongdoing are in jail. Maybe one or two. I'm just saying. The rest of them got thrown. Remember? And everybody was complaining about that. Well, how come they getting off? How come they throwing it out? Right? It was Floyd with Black Lives Matter. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I can't remember. But I just know it was one of them precedents that occurred. But they've been doing this since then, since the 60s, when they was able to hit you with imagery, visual images, and say, "Oh, look, y'all, we can entice you now. Now go register to vote." As if voting was going to change anything. Notice how voting still ain't changed nothing for us right now, but further put us behind. That goes back to my original question of this live stream. Did Martin Luther King help us or hurt us? And keep in mind, he wasn't the only one that did the exact same thing. Now, maybe I could, because here it is, and I know y'all gonna get on me if I make it 3 hours, because I'm already 22 minutes to 20 minutes in. 2 minutes. 2 hours and 20 minutes in. Can we pick up tomorrow and do like a part 2? Because I have more, and I'm not gonna lie, it will be a whole nother 5 hours, just like how that y'all got on me about the last live stream being 5 hours. I saw that. Y'all got on me. So I'll pick it up. I'll pick where we left off, and keep going. I will. I promise I will. I'm not playing. Y'all want me to keep going right now? Keep going right. Okay, well, tell me. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be long now. Don't be complaining. I'm telling you, this is gonna be long. I tell you what, if you want me to keep going, blow the likes up right now. I don't even know where we at on the likes. If you want me to keep going, blow the likes up, fire this chat up. Let me see some fire emojis, some turtles, some bow and arrows, some feathers. Blow it up. Let me see. Uh-oh. I'm getting a text message from my wife. Hold on 1 second. Uh-oh. Hold up. It's not my turn to cook, is it? Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me see real quick. Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Stop putting me on the spot like that, hon.
Huh?
Don't put me on the spot.
Hon, I'm live.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's my turn to cook. I don't know. I got that text. Should we pick it up tomorrow?
I believe we should pick it up tomorrow.
Okay. That's that tone that I know was okay. That's not. I appreciate that, babe. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just want them to understand that I'm a family man. I got things I got to do. That's first. Okay. Outside of everything else, I can pick it back up tomorrow. Anything that you wanted to tell the people because they can hear you.
Oh, see ya.
All right, babe. I'll be down there in a few.
All right.
All right. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to cook. I ain't gonna lie. I can't remember what I said I was gonna cook. I'll figure it out because I don't want it to get too late. So we're gonna have to do something light tonight so I can hurry up and do it. But yeah, of course I'm father too, husband too. Y'all understand? Tomorrow, earlier, 6 o'clock, I'll be there. I gotta shut this down. Y'all take care. Don't be laughing at me. Okay, don't be laughing at me. This is serious now. Don't be laughing at me. I love my wife. She loved me. Okay, but yeah, when it's my turn, I gotta do my part. I don't want no problems at home. Yeah, I understand that now. Let me do what I got to do. And also let me shout out. Before I do that, let me double check and make sure. Hold on, let me do this real quick, honey. Understand? I just got to make sure everything's straight with this. Let me double check. Okay. Evo, thank you for the gifted. Yeah, woo, 300 degrees. Been a member for 45 months in a row. That's major, brother. I appreciate that, brother. Dario, thank you for the gifted membership. I appreciate that. Demeter, thank you for your donation, Demeter. I appreciate that. That's major. Lovely Cherokee, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that, sister. Thank you. I'm coming. Hold up. Ledge. Hold on. Loda, thank you for becoming a member as well. Unique Organics Hair Care. She got that free promo right there. Y'all better check out Unique Organics Hair Care right there, okay? Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Paulita been a member for 3 months in a row. I appreciate that. Lifkin Bash, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Got you heated, been a member for 2 months in a row. He said, let's get it.
It's up. It's go time, Slim.
I appreciate that. Those of you that donated on Cash App, I don't understand why I can't see my my thing right here, but I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick. Give me a second. Hon, I'm coming. You called me sis last live. Oh, I'm sorry, Shamar. My bad, Shamar. Shout out to you, brother. I apologize, Shabab. My bad. I ain't mean to. I ain't mean to do that. I probably just saw the SHA and just went with sis right after that. My apologies, brother. Thank you for the cash app too, brother. D-Man said, for Mr. I'm just here to make you think, want my membership back. What you mean? What happened, D-Man? I don't cut people's memberships off. But come on, I don't understand what happened. If you in the chat, D-Man, I don't know what happened. Thank you for your donation. I don't cut people's memberships off. That's not what I do. Yeah, I mean, matter of fact, I can't even do that. I don't even think that's an option. But I appreciate all the love y'all been showing. As far as the content is concerned, as far as what we've been putting out, I promise we picking this up. We definitely going to go into part 2. That's probably going to be like another 2 hours. I know for a fact it was going to be 5 hours if we would have kept going. I know that for a fact. Hey, Captain Kirk, been a member for 9 months in a row. Thank you, brother. And Honey Style and Joy has gifted a membership. Thank you for the gifted. I appreciate that. Hold up, a couple of things coming in. Said Fred, thank you. Hey, Big Bomb.
Set it on fire.
Big Bomb. Said Fred been a member for 22 months in a row. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, y'all. Tomorrow I'm gonna pick it up. But yeah, man, I hope y'all learned a lot, man. At least just from this part. But let me do what I got to do. I am a family man. I'm gonna do what I got to do. Take care of this fam. Feed them real quick. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take care. I love y'all. Wado.
I'm just here to make you think.
Slow down. Yeah. Sub up, light up.